Guys, so we are given the poem You Loved and Loved and Loved. As the question says, read the poem you loved and loved and loved and answer the questions below. So here you must have a sample of the poem. So at 6.1 it says describe the structure of this poem. Okay, so we can say that the poem consists of 10 stanzas that are unequal in length. You can say it has no defined meter, or you can say it has no consistent rhyme scheme, or no consistent length. Okay, now let's go to 6.2. It says refer to lines 2 to 3, and they have quoted to us that it is a motor car misfiring that ends with a choking cough. Okay, so here it says explain the meaning of the phrase misfiring and choking cough as used in the context of the poem. We can say here that the speaker is comparing the noise of a car misfiring to the awkward noise of the African people songs. Okay, now let's go to 6.3. 6.3 says refer to stanzas 1 and 2. Name 2 activities of African people that white people ridicule. Okay, so we know that white people, they ridicule their songs and the way they walked. Okay, now let's go to 6.5. 6.5 says, we have 6.4, excuse me. 6.4 says one of the themes in the poem is racism. Discuss this theme. Okay, so we can say here that white people do not accommodate the culture of Africans as they see them as uncivilized or barbaric. We can further say that they ridicule their way of singing, dancing, and walking. When Africans open up to them, they ignored and turned to their materialistic ways. Okay, now we have 6.5. 6.5 says refer to line 22, and at A it says identify the figure of speech in the words but your laughter was ice block. Okay, so the figure of speech here would be a metaphor. And now we have B. B says explain why this figure of speech is relevant to the poem. Okay, so we can say the speaker compares the white people's laughter to ice blocks, which implies that their laughter was devoid of any warmth. Okay, now let's go to 6.6. 6.6 at A says refer to lines 5 to 8, and it says at A identify the tone used by the speaker in these lines. Okay, now let's go to question A. The speaker in lines 5 to 8, he would use a tone that is mockful or ridiculing. Okay, and now let's go to B. B says why would the speaker use this tone in these lines? Okay, so here we can say that white people pretend that their knowledge is superior, but they know very little about African people and are not prepared to open themselves up to gain more knowledge. Okay, now let's go to the last question. The last question says choose the correct answer to complete the following sentence. Omnivorous understanding means understanding is, that is C. And then if we look at this question in the context of the poem, we would be able to identify that the omnivorous understanding of the white people was not very kind. So here we're given the words A, omniscient, B, omnipresent, C, onomatopoeia, and D, undiscriminating. So the correct answer here would be